Hey everybody, it's Ethan. Just making another phalloplasty recovery update. Um, I know I made one at 3 weeks, and then I actually made a 6 week one last week, but I just was not feeling. Um, I didn't really like the video I made. Maybe at some point down the road I'll post it, but I don't know. I didn't I didn't want to post it. Um, anyway, so this is me at 7 weeks, actually getting a little closer to 8 weeks here. Um, and yeah, I would talk a little bit about probably some emotional stuff, and then the arm, how that's kind of healing, and just healing in general. So yeah, I guess to start off with the emotional part, I know I talked about that quite a bit in my last one, um, and I had thought I'm home by the way now. Um, I got home about it'll be 4 weeks tomorrow. 4 weeks ago, I got home, and I really thought I would do a lot better being at home. And in some ways, I have. I mean, I certainly have a lot of friends that are visiting and bringing me food and helping out because I live alone, and it's in a kind of isolated area. I'm a little ways away from most of the people I'm friends with, so um, people have made great efforts to come out and visit me, which is awesome. And now that I've been driving for the last 2 weeks, I guess I've been able to drive again. I've been able to get out and about, which has really helped me mentally. But anyway, to go back to the when I first got home, I felt actually really scared because I was, in this house by myself and not near a whole lot. And I had kind of a scare the second day I was home. I had a hole open up in my groin that just must have been a really weak area in the incision line, and it drained a lot of blood, and it really freaked me out. And I immediately texted. I tried calling Dr. Crane's physician assistant. She didn't pick up, and it was the day, it was their surgery morning, so I kind of figured they weren't going to pick up right away. I did text her right after that, and she texted me immediately back from surgery, which was awesome. And just kind of told me to send her a picture. I sent her a picture. She said it looked like old blood that probably just needed to come out. It needed a drain, and made its way out. So um, they told me to let that heal, and it did. It took probably about 5 or 6 days, but it eventually closed up, and it was fine. Actually, it felt relieving because there had been a lot of pressure in that perineum area. That's where it was kind of where they sewed up, you know, the old um, hole. But yeah, so that area was feeling a little tight and painful. So actually, that was a nice release of pressure. But that was a scare. I mean, I felt like I didn't know what I was going to do. It was like 6 o'clock in the morning. I did call one of my friends and was really upset and trying to figure out what to do. And she was like, I can come out and we can go to the emergency room. And, after talking to Dr. Crane's PA, she's recommended just taking it easy. And it wasn't, after the initial like burst of blood, there wasn't much that came out afterwards, which was good. So, yeah, I just felt really isolated, and also like that was the first time, and I thought about it a little bit, but it was really the first time I thought about like, man, if I go to an ER, like how am I going to be treated, and will they know what to do, and will they make the situation worse, really? Um, so yeah, I've worried about that. That has definitely been on my mind. Fortunately, I've had one other complication come up, and I'll talk about that later, but yeah, I'll just talk about that in a few minutes. But anyway, back to the emotional part. So yeah, and then I just kind of really sunk into a really pretty bad depression for about a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks. Yeah, it's pretty much the first 2 weeks I was home. Um, yeah, I had a hard time getting out of bed. Just not really interested in doing much, which obviously I wasn't up to doing much, but yeah, it really hit me hard. I think because I'd also felt like I ended up having to leave my job to do this, and I have been a little bit worried about that. and looking for a job. But as it turns out, it sounds like my old job can actually afford to take me back at this point. Um, it was the only reason that I got let go technically is because I have my work shift work, and my manager just could not cover my shift for 2 months, and I work a pretty physical job at a very busy animal hospital, and it just wasn't going to work out. But she really wanted me to stay in touch, and if she was able to hire me back when I came back, even part time, she would. And I'm contemplating that. I think I'm probably not quite ready to be on my feet for a 10-hour shift right now, but we'll see. And physically capable. I just want to be really physically capable. So I'd probably wait another couple weeks before if I do decide to go back. But otherwise, I am looking for other work. But that took a toll on me too. I mean, that was hard to do while I was just really feeling super depressed. And I had, yeah, anyway, yeah, so that was hard. Anyway, moving on from that, now that I've been able to get out of the house and get out and about a little bit more, and just kind of, and I saw my therapist in that period. I don't know, things have felt a lot better. And the other big thing that happened was I got my suprapubic catheter taken out, which I did not realize how much that was driving me crazy and how uncomfortable that was for my bladder. I mean, I knew it was uncomfortable, but getting it out really reinforced that. And I felt so much better afterwards, so that really helped. I think, and also contributed to just a sense of normalcy coming back. So that was nice. Yeah, and I feel like since then things have really improved every week. Yeah, and then I'll talk a little bit about my setback here. So last Sunday I had, and it's Monday now, so it's been a full week. But last Sunday, I thought that same hole that had opened up originally was opening up again, because there was a little bit of like a blistering at the site, and then I could see it filling with blood a little bit, and it finally burst, and more blood came out. The hole was a little bit further forward, so closer to my scrotum, so it's not quite in the same place. But yeah, anyway, so I thought, oh, here we go again, like this is happening again. So the bleeding stopped pretty quickly. I mean, this was nothing compared to the first time. But the problem was, so later on that day, when I was peeing, I realized, oh shit, I'm dribbling urine from that spot. So that was not good. So I did take some pictures, and I sent them to Dr. Crane and texted his PA and let them know what was going on. Sounds like I have a fistula, which is a pretty common complication. I feel like mine's at a weird spot for most people. I usually see people get in at the base of the phallus, or like in their scrotum, not on the perineum where mine is, so it's kind of a weird spot. Anyway, that kind of set me back a little bit last week. I got a little depressed about that. Not super depressed, nowhere near what I have been, but just a little frustrated and upset. I mean, it's just not fun. I figured I was almost at, oh yeah, I guess I was at 6 weeks. Yeah, I was at the 6 week mark, and I thought, man, the worst is probably over. But yeah, so that was hard. I'm dealing with it still, but it seems to be getting a little better. I can manage it for the most part. I did get approved to use a product called MetaHoney. It's supposed to help heal wounds faster, especially like surgical wounds or deep wounds, stuff like that. So I started using. I got that in the mail yesterday. I had to order it because I couldn't find it anywhere locally in any stores. So I ordered that, and I've been using that for the past 2-3 days now. Yeah, I got it Saturday, so yeah, I've been using it for the past 3 days, and it seems to be helping. It's really hard to tell, I guess, but it does seem to be closing the hole up a little bit. So we'll see. Dr. Crane said I have to give it 2 months to heal on its own, and if at that point it still hasn't resolved, then we will probably need to look at doing a surgical correction, which I really hope will not be the case, because I really do not, and I really just don't want to have surgery again for a little while. But Anyway, I will deal with it and we'll get through that. Um, yeah, and then just to move on to my arm because this video is getting long again. Yeah, so my arm, I feel like it's actually doing really well. It's healed up. I'm wearing a little arm sleeve from Under Armour. I actually got this on Amazon for like $9, and they came with two because they're like forearm sleeves. I think they're for like football players or something. But anyway, it works to cover up my arm, so people don't have to look at this horrible scar. And yeah, I'm not sure how I'm going to feel about that in the long run, but anyway, I'm working with it. But yeah, so here's the arm. Um, the swelling has gone down quite a bit. There's still swelling in the palm itself, but my fingers are back to normal. Um, and the swelling in my hand is going down. It's taking a while. But in terms of flexibility, like I actually have some pretty good flexibility at this point. Like I can go back quite a bit now. I mean, comparatively to this, like it's getting closer. Um, yeah, so that's doing pretty good. Going forward is not, it's okay, but it's, there's definitely a lot of work to be done. I can't seem to get my palm very flat compared to like this hand I can. So I'm gonna have to still work on that. I did get approved through my insurance to go see a hand therapist locally, but I haven't made an appointment yet. I don't know why not, but maybe I will get on that this week. But I've been doing stuff at home, like if I'm sitting around, I'll just move my hand around. I have these like grip trainers, and I've been working on that. And I actually feel like my grip strength is pretty good. There's sometimes when I incorporate the thumb into the grip that it causes some pain because I feel like there is still some nerve problems kind of in my thumb, coming up my wrist and into my thumb. So I don't know. That might take a little while to resolve. And there goes my cat. Yeah, anyway, so grip strength feels pretty good though. So I'm actually really happy with how that's healing. And I will take off the sleeve and let you see the scars. Yeah, it's a little tight, so it takes a few seconds to get this thing off, but I do like it. I don't know. It's a good sleeve. Anyway, so the color is going to be really hard to see in this, but there's the underside of the scar. It's pretty purplish, I would say, reddish. It definitely does not blend in with my normal skin. It's really hard to get the lighting to show you that on here. But yeah, so that's what it looks like. You come around to the front. I'm really actually happy with how the top is healing. It's so hard to see. That's even worse. Yeah, the leash is pretty visible, but it's a thin scar and it's not raised at all, so that's nice. It's very flush. The top part of my arm is actually pretty smooth, and it definitely seems the most blended of the whole graft site. The underside is a little, I don't know, wrinkly. There's no other better way to say that, I guess. Wrinkly in appearance. It's really hard to see on here, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to do to really work on that right now. Probably try some scar products, but for now, I've just been using lotion to keep the graft site soft. But yeah, it doesn't look that bad, and the indent is definitely there, but it's not terrible, you know. Um, it's not terrible, and it should get better with time. But yeah, I don't know. So I'm terrible at this. But yeah, so there's the arm scar. I don't know. It's really hard to get a good. I'm just working with my webcam, so it's not super great resolution. But yeah, so yeah, I don't know. Anyway, that's my arm at 7.5 weeks post-op, and will hopefully just get better with time. Really, I think. I mean, I might try some silicone like scar products, but I don't know right now. I don't know. That's not my big focus right now. My big focus is healing that fistula and taking care of that. Other than that, I don't know. If I'm feeling up to it in a couple weeks and the fistula is resolved, I might try to work out. I don't know. I'm gonna have to start really slow, but yeah, we'll just have to see. We'll just have to see where I'm at. Yeah. As usual, any questions, let me know. And take care, everybody.